to respond back. Then you get a bit disheartened, you don't know how many are coming. And on the night, if you haven't got, a turnout that you want, it is disheartening. So if you phone, speak face to face, more people are likely to come. And also, obviously, be precise about the time when you want people to come as well. Very important. And if you live in, in the middle of nowhere, obviously, really give good directions, because otherwise people get lost and obviously be starting later. Okay. Nat has just done something to the screen. Bear with me 2 seconds. I will do it this way. Okay. So what do you say to people? Hi, Chris, how are you? I was just wondering what you were doing on Wednesday evening. I'm having a few friends over for a social evening as I've started a new business and I am launching it on that night. I would really value your presence and input. It's going to be a fun evening and having you there will be great. Natalie's coming along to give a brief presentation on some amazing products. And that's all you have to say. So the follow-up. Fortune is in the follow-up. A quick call, obviously a few days before the launch, just to double check people are coming. You could say, I just need to know if you're coming or not. I'm just getting some wine in, some nibbles in, and just need to know numbers. And also call your guests the night before just to make sure nothing's changed. And again, just to tell them you're looking forward to seeing them. And also that makes them feel special and they're more likely to come if they know that you're really, you know they're going to come. So on the night, be prepared. I have to say, when I do a launch, I have to be prepared because that makes me less nervous and I know exactly what I've got to do. So have your product launch presenter and your product launch notes ready. Customer order forms. You don't need custom order forms. You can write straight into a receipt pad. However, for £1.40 for 10, I think it's a nice touch and I think it's necessary. Your 10 reasons for drinking aloe is a must. Any marketing material you want, obviously we've got the animal material, different things like that, which you think might be of interest to certain guests. Application forms, you never know if somebody wants to register with a £100 order or even join the business on the night. It has been done lots of times before. DVDs, obviously the product DVDs. Shot glasses for your shots of aloe, which is a must. Pens, obviously make sure your drinking gel is cold. It tastes a little bit better cold. Refreshments, obviously whether you do coffee, tea, fruit juices, or whether you do the wine, it's entirely up to you. And obviously your NDP pack, plus obviously any extra products which you want to show people. Now what? Okay, so relax. Arrive 30 minutes before you start. You don't want to get in there 5 minutes before people start arriving because obviously it doesn't look very professional. And obviously 30 minutes, you've got time to obviously speak to the person that's having the launch for you. If it's at a different person's house, they're going to be slightly nervous. They're going to be worried that people perhaps won't turn up. And you can just obviously calm them down and also get your products ready. And obviously as the guests arrive, chat to them, be relaxed, ask some questions and start building a rapport because, at the end of the day, people buy you. And obviously if they do like the products, they may be interested in the business. Obviously the first impressions of you are going to be key. So, have a chat with them. Hand out the custom order forms and brochures. Okay. New distributors to introduce the evening, share his or her story and tell them why they're doing Forever. Obviously, if it's a launch for yourself, obviously you'll be doing that. And then hand over to an experienced distributor who will do the launch. And then obviously they will thank everybody for coming and start the launch for you. So what you can see on the screen now is from the QLS website, so that's qlsonline.net, you can actually print these slides off. They're really, really effective. I've got to say, I don't use them. However, I think I should because they do look really good, don't they? And you can get I think they're called
A-frame,
yeah, and display them. And obviously, when you're doing this, your guests are looking at this A-frame and obviously looking at the products as you're talking about them and obviously passing around. So they are really effective.
I know Alice Higgins has great results with these in Tina's team. She put a picture of herself up doing a product launch on the Power Team page last week. So
brilliant. Okay. Your product launch notes, which again are printable off the QLS, are a must. Everybody must have their notes in front of them. And I've got to say, I'm guilty sometimes of not doing that. And I'm sure Nat can say the same because, you know, over time you do know, well, I say you do know what you're talking about. And obviously, you know, we know what the jelly does and we know what the propolis cream does. However, this is a duplicatable business. So, you know, if you've got somebody sat in the audience that's looking at the products and thinking, I'd be happy to recommend these, you know, if you're not reading, if you're just doing it off, you know, off the top of your head, they might be thinking, I like the products, but there's no way I could remember all of that. So therefore I can't do the business. If you've got notes in front of you, obviously they think, well, I can read the notes, I can do the business. So it's really, really important that you have them. And I say they're on the QLS website. So when you start, you tell your story. Obviously, we covered this in week 1, and you know it's why you got involved with Forever. And explain that they have an order form in front of them, like it says they're free to scribble all over it. Ask any questions as you go along. And I always say to people, you know, this is a recommendation business, and if I'm doing it for a new person in my team, I'm saying, you know, obviously we've brought you all together because obviously, although this isn't a party plan business, it's easier to get 5 or 10 people in one room and talk about the products in one go rather than go around everybody individually. But it is a recommendation business, so you don't feel obliged to buy, but more importantly, have some fun. So start your presentation and obviously go through the products, hand them out, let people try them. People like to touch, feel, smell, and try all the products. And obviously, people love stories. Again, we covered this in week 2. You know, share stories. Obviously, by going to the trainings, even on Facebook, you pick up a lot of stories, and you know, use those stories, you know. And obviously, as your customer base develops, you'll get your own stories as well. And people do love stories of how our products have helped people. They can relate to them. And obviously, at the end of the prize, well, I'll start again. At the end of the launch, we finish off with the business opportunity. And I've got to say, this is a must. And sometimes when you've just started, you know, you've done the products, and obviously going on to the business opportunity can be a little daunting. But it really is a must because so many people come into the business from going to a product launch. So this is how we do it. So, to finish, recap on the size of Forever both worldwide and here in the UK. Say it is continuing to go from strength to strength, and in doing so, we are looking for good quality people. We are looking for people who may want to earn a few extra £100 a month by looking after some satisfied customers. Say we're also looking for people who may be open to earning an extra £500 to £2,000 a month. These people will be trained to build a business on a part-time basis, and we are also looking for people that want to take advantage of our top opportunity. These people will earn substantial incomes and enjoy the benefits of Car Plan, global travel program, and profit sharing. And give examples of some people you know. I mean, for example, Nat, a single mum, 2 kids, always at the school gates, 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. You know, she's built an amazing, amazing business within the time frame that she has. Talk about other people in the business. You know, Tina Gillis, that's obviously a physio, that's built a business around obviously a professional rugby husband and things like that. So obviously have people in mind that you can relate to, all different walks of life. And then obviously people will say if they're interested or not. And if they are, arrange to give them a DVD, arrange to get their email address to send them the link to the QLS website, or perhaps even say, obviously not the time now, but can we meet up for coffee? You know, whatever your gut feeling says, or obviously, yep, like Nat just said, take them straight to the business presentation. They've seen the products and obviously they're impressed with them, so straight to the business presentation would be a good move. Also, you need, it's not covered on here, but prize draw questionnaires. What I do, and I've mentioned this before, I think in week 3, is I hand my prize draw questionnaires out at the end. Sometimes I say, oh, I forgot to give you this at the beginning. If you want to just complete it, it's totally optional, just so people don't feel pressurised into giving their personal information. But I do say, you know, if you do complete it, it will go into a hat, so to speak, and we'll pull one out shortly, and you will win a prize. So very, very obviously important to do your prize draws because there's so much fortune to be made in those. Okay, so after the launch, explain you will stay for half an hour to answer any questions. It says here to encourage people to try the drinks. I've got to say, I always do that while I'm passing the products around. I cover the drinks as one part of the launch, and I do really expect everyone to try the drink. Some will say, no, I'm not going to, and that's absolutely fine. You will find that most people that do make a fuss about it, when people do actually try it, they really think, well, that wasn't so bad after all. And I always say before they take a sip of it, they need to get over themselves, because it's not going to taste nice, but things that are good for you aren't supposed to taste nice. So get over themselves. Okay, so speak to each guest individually. This is really important, to go around everybody, because, they may have a query with some of the products. They may have been unsure of one product which they wanted, and they're not can't quite remember the name. So by going around and just helping them to complete their order forms could obviously increase your sales. And of course, that's building rapport as well, and developing relationships where, you never know, could lead to someone joining the business, or obviously taking on more products. So guests interested for the business, give them information and agree time to follow up. And then after speaking to every guest, leave the distributor to finish the evening and socialise. And the next day, obviously, if you've been doing it for a distributor, you need to obviously contact them to obviously review the previous night and obviously agree all the next actions. So explain to them how to place the first order, whether they do it online or over the telephone, and be excited for them. They've just had their first launch. I'm sure they've done very well. They've got people around, and that's all they had to do. So obviously be really pleased for them. And talk about how to follow up. Obviously, the prize draws, you need to act on them within 24 hours at least. So just go through with them, obviously who's ticked that they're interested in a pup box, which we're coming to shortly, who's interested in having a launch, who's interested in the business, depends on obviously what they've ticked. And obviously, depending what boxes they've ticked on different ailments, obviously it all points to the gel. So if they haven't ordered the gel, then they need to be contacted to say, they really do need to be drinking it. And discussing with Natalie earlier, what we started doing is that even if you've had a launch yourself, really it would really be good to speak to everybody who's attended the launch, just to say thank you for coming, and do this again within 24 hours. You may find you get some follow-up orders. You may even find that, they were actually interested in the business but didn't really like to say on the night, because, not a lot of people like to speak in front of others. But also, you can ask them, do they know anybody else? And obviously, when it's just one-to-one, you're probably going to get more out of people. So I think it's a really good idea, which we're going to start doing, aren't we, Nat?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, and follow-up prospects, arrange next steps with them, one-to-one business presentations, etc. And agree your next planning meeting with your distributor, obviously confirming relevant trainings, events, and obviously booking more product launches as well. Okay. And results, obviously the results from doing your launches, you've got new customers, so you're building on your customer base. Retail profit, obviously at this time of year, I can't stress, I find September to December so exciting for launches, because what you make the rest of the year, you can triple almost at this time of year. So it really, really is worth booking as many launches as possible. And from launches, you get more launches. Obviously, everybody around us is looking for Christmas presents between now and December. Everybody. And everyone has more than one to get. So you can imagine, and they're all up for social occasions as well. So launches, get-togethers with mulled wine and mince pies is obviously a good social time as well.
Just imagine if everyone we knew just bought one Christmas present from us, how many case credits that would be in your business. And if you don't share it with people, they'll never know.
And everyone's looking for that different present. They're fed up of buying the usual socks or handkerchiefs or whatever it is, and we have different presents that they can give, different gifts. So it's all good. And case credits, obviously, by doing launches, case credits, from an average launch, you're going to do 1 to 1.5 case credits. Again, this time of year, you can do a lot more. So how easy is that to do your 4 case credits each month and obviously earn money for Christmas? Okay, and it says at the bottom, remember the 5 Ps. Perfect planning promotes plenty of profit. Practice, practice, practice.
Fantastic, Carolyn. Thank you very much. And I hope everyone is going to go away and book some product launches. And then if you can post on the Facebook pages after how successful you've been in getting your launches, something that Carolyn taught me actually, because Carolyn actually got to supervisor literally through retailing. She phoned up everybody that she knew and asked them to have a launch for her. And her message was to everyone is, I've got to book 6 product launches this month. I've got 5. Will you be my 6th? And that resulted in her doing 25 case credits,
29.
just through 29 case credits, just through retail over 2 months. So if you're not supervisor and you want to be, then use those words and get the launches booked right now. And if you are supervisor, then just imagine what your business is going to look like with another 25 case credits. So let's see how many launches we can get booked. Also, for those of you that haven't watched the training pod on QLS, there is how to do a product launch, and it's done by me actually. So send that out to anyone that's not on the webinar and watch it yourselves to refresh yourselves. If you're not logged on to QLS to send the videos out, then let your upline manager know by commenting on the Facebook page and we can send it to you after the webinar. Right, we're going to move on to another method of retailing, which is the PUP. And PUP stands for Personal Use Product Pack. What I tend to do is call it my home trial pack, really. I think it's a bit more of a friendlier name rather than just a bit of jargon that we use in forever. So call it your home trial pack, your weekender, or whatever words suit you. So how we're going to prepare for our PUP drops is deciding which products are most relevant to your potential customer. Obviously, you can buy your PUP box filled from head office, but you don't have to use only the products that are in there, or you can change the products that you are giving to people. You also need to insert some relevant marketing material. It's so important to put the new products DVD in there. And if you haven't watched it, then really make sure you do, because like Carolyn was saying about learning the stories, when you're brand new, you're going to get off the products DVD, but you're also going to learn about some other products that maybe you're not using yet. And you'll never know when you've got someone who's got a certain condition that needs helping. Chances are you'll find it on the products DVD. You've also got the weight management on there as well, so it's brilliant to put into your PUP box because someone might just watch it and learn about another product that they're not sampling. It's also important to put in the Your Future DVD, and ask them to watch it because they might be interested in the business opportunity. Something that we do quite often is we'll put in the Your Future DVD and just put a post-it on it and say, if you recommend anyone that joins my business, I'll give you £40 worth of products for free. That obviously entices them to watch it. They might like it for themselves, and if not, they might recommend it to someone else. And if you all get your sponsoring bonus when you recruit someone, so obviously £40 worth of products at the retail price is far less in true value than your £39 you get as a minimum for recruiting someone. When you're giving someone your PUP box, it is the first impression of you and your business. So if your PUP box has got tatty, it's only £3 to invest in a new box. Don't give someone a tatty box that's got all leaked aloe gel in it. Make sure it's looking clean and make sure all your products are clean in there as well. So just use a sterile wipe to clean them all up, because let's be honest, I wouldn't want to have a product that you can see someone else has been using and trialing. You want to have something clean to entice you to use it. So what are you going to actually say to people to get your PUP boxes out to them? So let's say we're going to phone up. Hi, is that Sarah? Sarah, hi, it's Natalie here. Have you got a minute to talk? Sarah, I don't know if you're aware, but I run my own home-based business alongside an international company in the health and wellness industry. The reason for my call is that as a company, we've put together something called a personal use product pack, or a home trial pack, which we let people try out for themselves for a few days. It's a box full of everyday products, or whatever products you're going to put in it. And I was hoping that I could drop a box into you later, leave it with you to see what you think. There's no obligation at all. I just really would like you to try them and give me some feedback. Easy. We can all make a couple of calls like that a day. So what are we actually going to put into our PUP pack? What products? So in the standard PUP, you've got your aloe vera drinking gel. I never actually leave this with people. When I go along to do my PUP box, I will take the 3 different gels with me. So normally the Forever Freedom, the Berry Nectar and the yellow gel. And while I'm explaining to them the other products, I will let them have a little try of the drinks and explain the benefits. Because if you leave that drink for them, we know they're not going to get results within 2 to 4 days. But by talking them through the benefits, chances are you'll get an order before you've even left. And then I leave with them the liquid soap, the jelly tube, the deodorant. Using the deodorant, what I either do is leave them a new deodorant and say the only thing I ask you to buy if you try is the deodorant, or I'll take a deodorant and just cut off the top of it so it's completely clean and sterile again, leave it with them, and then cut off the top again before I hand it to the next person. A tooth gel, a moisturising lotion, the shampoo and conditioning rinse, an aloe lips. I normally give each person an aloe lips as a thank you for having the pup box, and a heat lotion as well. And what you're going to do is you're going to sit down with them and just quickly do a quick demo of how the products work. So, at the average pup drop, you'll probably be there for maybe 10, 15 minutes with them. And then other things you might want to include are the propolis cream, the Freedom, the Aloe to Go. You could leave a sachet of that in the pup box. Maybe the aloe lotion, the MSM, the aloe scrub, the suntan if it's holiday season. And obviously you're going to put in the literature and DVDs and things like the top 10 reasons to drink aloe. What I would say is don't flood it with literature, because otherwise they're going to chances are not look at any of it. It's also really good to put in a free prize draw questionnaire and tell them that you give these boxes out a couple of times a week, and at the end of the month you pull out one winner from all of your pup drops and give a £10 voucher or whatever it is you want to give. You obviously can tailor each individual pup box to the person that you're giving it to. So here's some examples now of different pups you can do. Obviously we're coming up to Christmas, and a fantastic audience for us are men. Men are useless at shopping. Sorry for all the men on the call this evening, but I'm sure you'll agree with me. You'd much rather have someone come to you and advise what you can buy for your mum, your mother-in-law, your gran, your girlfriend, your wife, etc. So why not put together a Christmas pup with some of our luxury ranges that women like to give to a man to have a look at? We can also put together a men's pup, not dissing men at all, but they also hate going round Boots or wherever to find their cosmetics. And the men's cosmetic industry is one of the fastest growing industries at the moment. So why not take a pup exclusively for men? So you'd put in there things like the heat lotion, the MSM, the Gentleman's Pride, the scrub, a moisturiser, the tooth gel. Maybe you could put in the 25th edition aftershave. You could also do a skincare pup. What woman do you know that doesn't like to have a nice facial? So use the Sonia skincare. You can actually use the Sonia skincare as a pup. And if people use that for 2 to 3 days, they get amazing results. Their skin is literally glowing. And you will, chances have it, sell a whole skincare, Sonia skincare. And there's also the Fleur de Jouvence as well that you can use. There's so many animal lovers out there, and people will often spend more on their animals than themselves. So put together an animal pup. So again, the jelly, the propolis cream, the shampoo, the tooth gel. It's obviously all the same products that you've got anyway, just for another audience. But this time you might want to add in the veterinary spray and some of the animal leaflets. For those of you that know people with horses, if you go onto the Facebook pages, there's a great A to Z of horses with all the ailments that horses have and the great products that can help the benefits. Obviously, summer, put together a summer pup with the sunscreen and the sunless tanning lotion, maybe the probiotics. Sports pup for all the sports lovers. The RG, people get great results with that straight away. And obviously you'd put the heat lotion, the MSM, Fab. Fab is fantastic for the sports people. So you can really be creative with your pup packs. And also, someone who's just had a baby or about to have a baby, why not do a baby orientated pup pack? So get creative, and any ideas that you've got, share them with us and let us know your results on our Facebook pages. So who am I going to give my pup to? absolutely anybody is an audience for our pup. So family, obviously, you can say to your family, you want them to evaluate the products that we're using. Friends, neighbours, relatives, work colleagues, those of you that are working 9 to 5 jobs, while you're at work, you can be working your forever business as well by giving your colleagues a pup box, and they can just plan it on, pack it. They can just pass it on to the next person. Or maybe you've got a husband or a partner or a mum that works somewhere, and they can be passing your pup box around their office. Sports clubs, again, a great audience there for those of you that use sport clubs. Mobile therapists, they're absolutely fantastic, and beauticians and hairdressers. Just give them a call using that exact same script saying you want them to evaluate our product range. In the school playground, I know there's lots of mums on the webinar tonight. So, again, perfect audience to trial our products. Nursery and toddler groups, if you go along to nurseries and baby groups, take along your pup box and say you take bookings for them to evaluate the products. And obviously they can have a little trial of them while you're there and they're having coffees. Might be scout groups, guide groups, past and present customers. These people already like the products, so they are fantastic to have your home trial pack, because it's much easier to get more spend out of an existing customer than to try and get new customers all the time. So just say, you're already loving the toothpaste or the shampoo or whatever it is that they're using. Why not try some more of our range? I've got a free home trial pack you can try for a few days. Small local business owners, or literally, as it said, who do you know that washes every day? So, like I said at the beginning of the slide, everybody we know is a potential customer to give our pup box to. And again, our products are not available in the shops. So if we don't introduce them to people, they're never going to know about them. And it ends up being your neighbour or your friend retailing products to someone that you could have. So get in there first. So how long should I leave the pup pack with them? 4 days is ideal. So you could leave it Monday to Thursday, or I have to say, I do tend to say 3 days really, because then you've got, you can get it out twice a week, but it depends on your schedule and the person's schedule. So Monday to Thursday, Tuesday to Friday, Thursday to Monday is good. You can call it your weekender then. And remember, the more pups you've got, the more you can give out. And if your pup is sat at home by your desk or by your back door or wherever you keep it, your shop is closed. So if your pup is not out, your business isn't working. Your pup is there to work for you, bring the case credits in, and also bring people to join your team. So it's really good to have a diary for your pup box, so you can plan for the next month who will be having your pup box. So what's the cost of a pup box? It's £74.48, which is 0.574 case credits. So if you haven't got a pup box, I'd suggest you invest in one now, and you can get that out working for you, and then you'll get the investment back very, very quickly. And you could have someone that joins your business from that pup, and straight away that's £39 for their registration, plus then obviously the future case credits. 2 pup packs, that's obviously going to be £148.96, which is 1.148. So you can be using this to build up your Christmas retail if you invest in them now. And then obviously you get back on that your 5 to 18% bonus as well. So obviously 5 if you're an assistant supervisor, and it goes up to 18 as you step up to manager, plus any other products you want to put in there. And what I always recommend to people is, every time you place an order, just introduce yourself to one more product, and you can use that for yourself or use it in your pup box. We also have a team incentive that if you sponsor 2 people into your team with a new distributor pack in any single month, we will give you a free pup box. So that's another way of getting 1 or 2 or 3 pup boxes. So what results can you expect from your pup box? Obviously increased retail sales, Now, Carolyn and I were actually trying to work out what that means, an aloe lips to the full pup. Not really sure, so if anyone can come back to that, we'll give you a free aloe lips as a little prize. It's obviously going to increase your customer base, and it is just making sure your business is working while you're not working on it all the time. It's going to bring in new distributors. I've got lots of people within the Power team that have joined as the result of having a home trial pack. So make sure you're talking to people, and they'll either join the business as a result of using the product, so it might not be straight away, or they might just watch that online, that Your Future video, DVD, and want to find out more about it and join from that. It's also going to get you new prospects and customers through referrals, because we all know if we've got a customer, quite often if we go to them and ask them for referrals, we'll get more customers from them. So what kind of income can you expect from giving out your pup boxes? The average sale is about £25 from a pup box. So let's say we're going to do 2 per week. So that's 8 per month, is an extra £200 per month. So think to yourself, what would you do with £200 per month extra now running up to Christmas? So it's worth the investment. Now, I am telling you, you will do plenty of pup drops where you get no orders, and you'll do plenty of pup drops where you get very big orders. The biggest order I've ever had was actually before Carolyn was in my business, and she referred me to one of her friends, and I got a nice £500 order from a pup drop. After Carolyn saw that order, she decided to join the team. But anyway, that's a nice little story. Yeah, I did return the customer to Carolyn. So you can see very quickly you can recoup your investment on your box so long as you've got your pup box out. If it's at home, it's not going to be working. Right, what I'm going to do now is pass you on to Carolyn, who's going to go through how to look after those all-important customers. And like I said, it's really important to look after them, because it's far easier to increase the spend on people that are already happy with the products than to keep trying to find new customers all the time. So over to Carolyn.
Thank you very much, Nat. Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, you've taken the time and the effort to get the customers. You need to keep them. And we do, I've got to say, we do pride ourselves on our customer service, because we have a small amount of customers, we need to look after them well. So, and I've got to say, when I first started, like Natalie said, I had 6 launches in the first 2 months. And I thought, well, I know everybody that's coming. I don't need to keep records. And I didn't. And I've got to say, very quickly, I got very confused about who had bought what, why people had bought what they did, and I got into a terrible mess. I had to have customer records. So I really do advise you to start doing that straight away. And it's just basically a note with their name, address, their contact details on. An email address is brilliant if you can get that, and I'll tell you why later. And just what they've bought and when they've bought it. And use your 1 to 31 folder. This is particularly really important with jar drinkers. I mean, jar drinkers is key. This is what this is all about. We want jar drinkers. Obviously, 20 jar drinkers is your 4 case credits each month. We need to look after them, and you must never ever let your jar drinker go a day without drinking jar. It is just a big sin. You can't do it. You can't do it. So you need to know when they're going to run out. You need to know, obviously, that you've got stock of it, how long it's going to take you to, whether you've got to travel to take it or whatever, getting it to them. You need to take that into account. So, in your folder, if you think someone's drinking 60ml of drinking jar a day, that one bottle is going to last them 17 days. You need to think about it on perhaps day 14 or perhaps even earlier, depending if they're further away. And obviously, perhaps encourage your customer to buy more in one go. So obviously a card index box or a folder is crucial, especially for jar drinkers. And I say record all their details on there. Really important as well, if you can get their email address, which wasn't so important going back 4 years ago, but I've in the last 2 years, I found it has really made a big difference. For all of my customers, I've got all their email addresses. Some I had to contact and say, can I update you my records? Can I have your email? And now what I do, perhaps once a month, I'll send out an email to everybody, just sharing new products or updates on different things or special offers that I'm doing. And it's amazing the amount of retail, the amount that I get back from that. So it's definitely worthwhile doing. And obviously, and people have actually come into the business from that, because it keeps them in the loop. And whether they buy a moisturizer once every 6 months, they can see things that are going on every month. And obviously, it's all drip feeding, so it's all worthwhile doing. Delivery, obviously, after you've delivered, it is really important that you follow up after 3 or 4 days. Again, just to make sure that they're happy with their product, that they've started drinking the gel if it's the gel they've ordered, because obviously, it could sit there for a long time if you don't phone them, and obviously just make sure they're happy with what they need to be taking each day, and they've put it in the fridge and they keep it in the fridge, etc. That then when they're going to run out. So it's really important, and also stress to them that if they want to see a benefit, they've got to be consistent with it and take it every single day. And again, especially with gel drinkers, follow them up 10 days later. I mean, we know, within, the first 4 days, they may have a slight upset stomach. Normally not, but some can. And we need to make sure that obviously they're happy and that they're going to continue taking it. And if they've got any issues, obviously you can sort it before they stop drinking it. And obviously, like it says at the bottom, it obviously shows you care, which is really important because we do. So it is also important that we recommend the products they really need. There's nothing worse, I think, than someone, saying you need to have this, you need to have this. I know we're very passionate about the products and we do love the products, which is why we're in the business, but we do speak from the heart. So, it's we all want to make sales, but only recommend what people actually need. Don't obviously try and palm off products on them just to make the sale, because they will see through that and they won't come back to you. Again, like I said, we pride ourselves on our customer service, and obviously we're there to help them. And encourage them to use everything for 60 days, especially the drinks, the supplements and the drinks. The supplements, they're not going to see a great deal of difference within 6 weeks. That goes for every supplement on the market, not special to Forever. So, if after 2 weeks they're going to turn around and say, I don't notice any difference, then you need to be able to say, well, I told you this, you won't. You need to use the full 60 days up. And again, with the gel drinkers, I've got to say, if someone says they want to buy the gel from me, I am really firm with them. I do say, commit to having at least 3 bottles. You don't have to buy them all in one go, but commit to having one after the next, because you're going to see some benefits, not a lot in the first. You're going to be seeing more in the second and even more in the third. Use up the 60 days, see the full benefits, to be fair to the product and to the company. And then if obviously they're not happy, if they don't see the full benefits or feel they're getting value for money, then they can get a full refund. But again, just make sure they're fully aware of that, because there's, if they're just going to have one bottle of gel, there's no point in having the sale in the first place, in my opinion. They might as well just tip it down the drain, because they're not going to see the full benefits. But they will only know this if you explain it to them to start with. Always say thank you. Again, little things go a long way, whether it's just a text message, a card or an email. It means a lot. We all know that when we get thank you cards. So again, if you to keep your customers, there's a lot of Forever people out there now. There's lots of, obviously, every event you go to, there's a Forever stand. You want your customers to always come back to you. So, by doing these little things, they're going to be loyal to you. And again, offer a pup drop. And this may not be for want of a sale, although I suppose it is really. But you could have a pamper drop, a pamper pup, and pamper drop, a pampered pup. And if someone's had a tough time, just say, just have this for a few days, just pamper yourself, treat yourself. And yeah, if you get a sale, great. But it's not just about that, is it? It's just about looking after our customers. And it says there, reward with loyalty, for loyalty. You can buy the small green stamps where basically, for every 10 products they buy, they get one free. Very good. Everyone likes loyalty rewards. Everybody does, whether it's Tesco's or whether it's coffees, whatever. So a very good way of keeping customers and obviously keeping them ordering from you. And reward for referrals. We love referrals, obviously, whether it's business or whether it's product related. And again, reward them for it. If they know that, you might have someone who likes to chat, who likes to talk, who likes to recommend, if they're happy to pass customers to you, reward them for it, they're going to do it more. So that's what you want at the end of the day. And like I mentioned before, communicate about new products, whether it's by email, whether it's by text even. But, when we've got new information, new products come out, all the information is available on Forever Knowledge. So just copy it and send it to them. Either they like it or they won't, but you may get some new orders from it.
It's great actually to set up a little email database of your customers as well, so you can send out a weekly newsletter of product of the week, and maybe you've got a special offer on that product, or coming up for Christmas, you can obviously send out our Christmas campaign to them. Beginning of summer, you could let them know about the sunscreens, so make it specific to the time of year. And obviously you've got things like Father's Day, Mother's Day, so it's really good to gather your email addresses for your customers and just put them on an email newsletter that you can send out weekly to them.
Definitely. And testimonials. And Clean9 testimonials. I've been doing really well with that lately as well by sending that out, because a lot of people aren't on Facebook. A lot of people aren't.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So get your testimonials from your customers and send out testimonial of the week. And I know a few people are also setting up pages on Facebook for the Facebook users and making those product orientated as well. So you can have a little look at doing that. So thank you, Carolyn. It's all about building that rapport and trust. And that's what we do in the business, whether it's for your prospects or for your customers. And you'll also find that a lot of your customers join your business. So it's all about that rapport and trust that you build up with them. So what about planning with that new distributor? You will all have had a planning meeting and the fantastic planning system that we use. So obviously we sit down with people when they get started and get their business into motion. And then we plug them into our webinars, so our weekly rolling program, our sizzles, the company trainings, and then also our Sunday night webinar as well. So it's really important when you sit down with someone that you put in the diary your first 2 planning meetings at registration. You can also send them away with the marketing plan flyer. So sometimes I use these, sometimes I give them the Teach to Reach straight away when they register. And it just really gets them prepared. I also prepare my new distributor before the meeting, if possible, by sending them out with how to write your Who Do You Know list training pod from the QLS website. A little bit of information about the products from Dr. Sylvia, and also Jane's goal setting product pod, so that they come along prepared for that first meeting. You actually get the new training manual, the Teach to Reach planning system, in the new product pack. So the new distributor pack, which has just been launched yesterday, you'll get the planning manual in there now as well, which I thought was a fantastic idea. And for those of you that don't know, you need to have a look what's in the new pack, because it has changed so that you don't get 2 of the most common products. You get more products for them to try, so it's just 1 of each. And they've introduced things like the scrub, the MSM, and various other things. So have a look at that. The objective of the planning system is to give your new distributor a clear understanding of the activities that you need to achieve success within Forever. So obviously it's focusing on personal use, retailing, sponsoring, coaching, and the personal development. The system provides both a flexible approach and a track to run on. So you've got to remember, if you are brand new, you've got no idea what you're doing. And if you've been with Forever for a while, you've got to remember what it felt like when you started. It's like starting a new job. It's like being a doctor, having no experience of what to do, except the difference is with us, you train and learn as you grow your business. So we're going to give them the tracks to run on in the first 30 and 60 days and work through the different modules and show them the activities that we need to do to get started. And it's up to your new distributor to tick those modules off and to come to you if they need any help. So how to be effective at that first planning meeting. At the beginning of the planning meeting, or I normally do when I book it, I'll say, we're going to need an hour and a half to get to really give you the tracks to run on. And at the start of the planning meeting, I'll let them know, because for 2 reasons. You don't want them to ask loads and loads of questions, And also, you don't want them to be sat there thinking it's going to be, well, you don't want them to be sat there for 2, 3, 4 hours, and then thinking, God, I'm not going to have time to do this business. So map out right at the beginning how long it's going to take. Spend time discovering what your distributor really wants. So this is talking about that why. And if you haven't, let them watch the training pod from Jane. It really, really helps to get them thinking. And it's really important to say to them, that you'd never set any goals before, because most people haven't, because you are going to ask them lots of questions. And if you have read Alan Pease Questions Are the Answers, this is fantastic to help you do the goal setting. And provide the reassurance that you haven't set goals before. Clearly link their why to a position on the marketing plan. Now, what I find is the most common amount is £500 that people say. I don't know why, whether that's because a lot of us are mums or whether that's normal because that's what people think they can achieve. So straight away you can show them the assistant manager, but we need to focus really to manager and beyond, so help them see that far. Let them confirm with you that they're ready to go to work to achieve these goals. So you let them know, you'll be working 100% with them if they do the things that you're putting into process for them. Help them focus on achieving supervisor in 6 to 8 weeks as a maximum. If you really want this, you can do it in 6 to 8 weeks. And like I just said, Carolyn did this literally by booking product launches. It's obviously much easier if you can get a team as well, but it just shows what's possible. They're going to pick up on your energy, your conviction, your desire. They need to have that rapport with you, that belief in you, because they don't know what they're doing. So you've got to show them that you believe in them. You're going to help them achieve this. And even if you're new, you're not as new as they are. And you've got someone helping and supporting you as well. You've got to set high expectations. You've got to set the pace. So you're planning their first 6 to 8 weeks, and don't be scared to say what you expect of them. You expect them to come on to the webinars because this is here for people to learn. You expect them to come along to a business presentation because how else are you going to learn the business? How else are you going to learn about the products? How else are you going to get that belief in the company if you don't attend a business presentation? You expect them to come to a success day because it's called a success day because that's where the successful people go. So there must be something in it. I know that myself and Carolyn never miss out on a success day. So really set, what you expect of them. Obviously, if they're just looking for a little bit to retail a bit, then, the expectations aren't going to be as high as someone that wants to earn £1,000 to £3,000 or whatever it is that they're looking for. So your homework for tonight, it has fitted actually straight into an hour after our technical hitch, which is brilliant. So we do apologise for all of the mix-up at the beginning. I think it was actually something to do with the system that we're using, because we had a little thing come up on our screen saying that people couldn't hear us. So I think it was actually go to webinar rather than my internet going down, because I didn't have to reboot it. So anyway, we have these technical hitches. We're all learning. So your homework, touch the 5 pillars of success every day. So you're going to use the product. You're going to share the business. You're going to attend the trainings, do all the things, take the personal development, read the books. You need to be touching it every single day. In fact, I was talking to someone in my team today who had a bit of a bad couple of days in her business and what was going on, and she found it really hard to get going again. And if you do a little bit every single day, it's easy to keep that momentum. But if you do stop, it's really hard to get back into it again. So it is so important to touch your business every day. Use the products. So get yourself a new product every time you place an order, because if you don't use that product, you're never going to recommend it to someone. Start building up that customer base to 20 to 30. So look to recruit people. This is the best time of year to do it. I recruited 8 people frontline last month. because I was talking to everyone, and everyone's got a need right now with Christmas coming up. Coach people. You can't expect people to just go ahead and do it. You've got to show them what you're doing and work and teach the simple system that we use. Personal development. What are you reading right now? What are you listening to right now? There's some fantastic personal development books that we use, and it's brilliant to come to the Success Day because they're all available there. And if you don't know what to read, ask on the Facebook pages, ask people what they're reading to help them and inspire them. Fill in your points activity sheets. We made these available last week, and there'll be a prize at the end, which is obviously next week now. And book your next training. So that's Dr. Atherton on Saturday, the 13th of October. We've got the Success Day on Saturday, the 20th of October, and we've got our Team Sizzle on Tuesday, the 16th of October. So I want to just finish by thanking you all for giving up an hour of your precious time this evening to work on your business and to help you achieve the things that you're looking for. Please leave us some feedback on the Facebook pages because it helps us to know how to change it, how to make things better, what works, what doesn't. And thank you very much. Have an amazing week. Good night, everybody.
Good night.